Hello, racers. I'm joined with $30,000 Thursday champion at the Fling, Will Roberts. Will, how you doing today?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good, buddy. Will, we just got back from GALOT, the Fling. First main event day, Jegs Thursday for $30,000. You came out. I think we had 369 entries that day. At the end of the day, you were the last man standing. A bunch of hitters. You went through a lot of tough rounds. Tell me a little bit about your day.
Well, it started my confidence built as the race went on, but I think it was third round I had to run Gary Williams, and he had a 6-pack and I had a 5-pack, and I figured then I was like, well, it might be my day. That's kind of where it started, but my confidence grew from there. But the main thing, I was on the tree good that whole day, and the car ran really good.
Yeah, I noticed you pretty much had dial-in right in that area of 453, 454. Tell us a little bit about your motor and car combination. What make dragster and what size motor?
I'm not. That's the fourth time I've run the car. That was actually the first time I ever drove it at night time. But I'm not real familiar with it yet. I've always drove a door car. There's two Mustangs that I've always drove, and then he wanted to see if I would like a dragster. So it's something new to me that I'm trying out.
So first time you drove a dragster at night ever?
Ever, yep.
Yeah, well, fortunately, that's a good track to do it at because the lighting at GALOT Motorsports Park is second to none.
Yes, sir.
Any rounds stand besides Gary Williams? Anytime you take out a hitter like Gary Williams, I'm sure that's a confidence booster. Anytime you have a 5-pack, I'm sure that's a confidence booster. Any other rounds stand out on Thursday?
That was the main one. That kind of whenever that worked out the way it did, that gave me the confidence I needed. But I had a bunch of good runs, really. That was 00 finish line.
Well, that's what it takes to win one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about a bad run that you had, and a good thing it came on a buy run. And on a buy run, things are a little different. You're running by yourself, but at 5 cars, if I remember right, you left the crossover numbers in the box from the round before.
I sure did. I was running the round before. It was a 514 car, and when I went up there for my buy run, I was just not having to run no one and everything. I didn't clear the other side out, and whenever it didn't leave when it was supposed to, I figured we'd be okay. Car was running good enough where I knew what it would pretty much run on both sides, and lots of good.
So does that, even though you knew what happened, that's got to play mentally on you a little bit when you're going down to the semifinals.
Yeah,
or did you just wipe your slate clean? And how did you deal with that?
I kind of just wiped it. See, I'm more of a pressure racer anyway. I do a lot better when I'm under pressure. I know a lot of people it's the opposite, but for me, it's always whenever I get under pressure, that's when I perform the best. So I don't have high expectations of myself running a buy run by myself.
Well, you definitely rebounded nicely. More pressure for you first round or final round?
Definitely final round.
Yep. That's UX 10 drivers. 5 will tell you first round, another 5 will tell you final round. So it's always an interesting question. Semifinals, you're 14 on a tree. You take 5,000 against Bailey Ferraro. Must have felt pretty good going into the final. What did you change anything to the box from the 14?
No, sir. No, I left it the same, and just being the fact that a lot of times for me, I can't speak for anyone else, but when you get to the finals, you're just hyped up and everything's going, and so I figured that was a good spot for me right now.
Well, you definitely with all the chips on the line there, you definitely hit your spot. I'm sure you was hoping for right around a mid double O, and you got it. So shows a lot about the character of you and how you handle high pressure situations, because it doesn't get much bigger than that.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Now, tell me one thing I noticed about the winner's circle. There were a lot of emotions, your family. You guys were really, and I always tell people, numbers are numbers, race wins are race wins. But when you see raw emotions like you, and I believe that's your wife,
Yeah, girlfriend.
and those were your kids,
Yeah, they're my two kids.
there was a ton of emotion. I mean, all tears of joy, of course, but why do you know, like, what made that win so emotional for all of you?
Well, I took some time off. There was about a 4 year gap there where I didn't race at all, and the main reason is I'm a single father. My two kids, their mother's not in their life, so it's just me and them. So I had to take some time off with them. But now they're kind of. Last year was my first year back, and then I'm kind of getting adjusted to driving the dragsters and all that. So it was a good win. And then to be in my first win in a dragster was one of your races is incredible. So it was high emotions.
Yeah, and you have I could feel it. I could feel it in a winner circle. And you have a whole team there that you guys race with, and I'm sure you feed off of each other. It was really good to see. What's next for Will Roberts?
Um, let's see. Next would be GALOT's points race. That's what we got next. That's in 2 weeks.
So
And
you stay
then,
local. Yep.
yep. And then we got your race in Bristol too coming up. So that's what's next.
Well, make sure you take the time to enjoy the moment, because these big buck races are hard to win. So soak it all in.
Yes, sir.
All right, Will. Well, appreciate you taking the time. Congratulations on your win, and we'll see you at Bristol.
All right. Thank you, Peter.